Something big is happening in the Nevada desert, and the rest of the NFL should be worried. Hold on tight, because something serious is taking shape out in the Las Vegas heat, and the Raiders just lit a fire under the entire NFL. I've been covering rookie minicamps for longer than I care to admit, but this one has a completely different energy. The second you see names like Fernando Mendoza, Malik Benson, and Jamal McCoy sharing the same sideline, something stirs in your gut. This isn't another slow rebuild. This feels like the real thing, like the beginning of something genuinely dangerous, but that is precisely what makes us trust him. A big ego tries to hide its failures. Mendoza doesn't dwell on his mistakes, he takes them out onto the pitch. Even at night, he's in the hotel lobby working through the playbook with his teammates. He's sketching out field plans by torchlight with the likes of Trey Zoo. This isn't just a job, it's a passion. Meanwhile, his film study is also impressive. Mendoza watches videos of his teammate Kirk Cousins. He analyzes Sam Darnold of the Seattle Seahawks, both played in Kubiak's system. The things Mendoza pays particular attention to: footwork and eyes, a quarterback's two most important weapons. And this lad is only 22 and already aware of them. One of the most interesting moments at the minicamp was the dynamic Mendoza established with his teammates. This guy was delivering his Heisman speech in Spanish just a few months ago. Dozens of cameras were filming him. But now his dressing room neighbor looks at him and says, "He's a really funny bloke." Day one of Raiders rookie minicamp has officially kicked off, and here's the catch. The media was completely shut out. No cameras, no highlights, no sneaky sideline footage, nothing. But tomorrow the gates swing open, the lenses roll, and we get our first real look at what this revamped Raiders squad is actually made of. So let's get you ready. Let's break down every single player worth watching, because some of these names are going to stop you cold. Malik Benson, a nightmare in cleats. Let's kick things off at wide receiver, and let's start with the most exciting offensive weapon on this whole roster, Malik Benson. This guy is a flat-out problem once the ball is in his hands. Coming out of Oregon, Benson wasn't just another receiver running routes. He was a chess piece that defensive coordinators genuinely stayed up at night worrying about. Throw him a simple 5-yard slant, and he'll turn it into an 80-yard house call before the defense even blinks. That's not hype, that's just his default setting. The foot speed, the vision, the slippery ability to make the first defender grab nothing but air, it's all there, and it's all coming to Las Vegas. If this Raiders offense feeds him underneath early and lets him stretch out, the whole receiving conversation in the AFC West changes overnight. Teams are going to have to game plan specifically for this man, and that opens up everything else. Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback Las Vegas has been begging for. Now let's talk about the name that's been buzzing loudest, Fernando Mendoza. Just say it out loud. Does that not sound like a starting NFL quarterback? Because everything about this young man screams that he belongs under center at the highest level. The arm talent is there, the footwork is clean, the football IQ he put on tape in college is the kind you can't teach in a film room. Raiders fans have been starved for a signal caller who can genuinely move the needle, and this front office finally went out and got one. Honestly, tomorrow I only need to see one thing from Mendoza, one crisp spiral that hits a receiver perfectly in stride. That's it. If I get that, I'm locked in for the entire season. And here's where the front office showed some real creativity. They brought in Roman Hebe from Indiana as an undrafted free agent, then added wide receiver E.J. Williams Jr., also from Indiana, two of Mendoza's former college teammates. You want your rookie quarterback to feel at home from day one. That's how you do it. That's not just roster building, that's front office chess, while everyone else is playing checkers. Dynamite. Trey Zoo, the offensive lineman who makes coaches sleep better at night. Let's flip over to the trenches, because Trey Zoo deserves his own spotlight moment. This guy is the kind of offensive lineman that has position coaches smiling before breakfast. The versatility he brings to the table is genuinely rare. He can play tackle, slide inside to guard, and flip to either side of the line without missing a single rep. In today's NFL, that kind of flexibility is worth more than most people realize. Teams that can shuffle their offensive line without losing their footing are the teams that protect their quarterbacks deep into the season, and teams that protect their quarterbacks, those are the teams you see playing football in January. Zoo's ceiling is sky high, and while minicamp will offer a glimpse, the real revelation comes when the pads go on at training camp and things get physical. That's when we'll find out exactly what this kid is built from. The defense is about to become someone else's worst headache. Okay, now buckle up, because this is where things get genuinely wild. The Raiders' defense in 2025 is shaping up to be a nightmare scenario for opposing offenses, and it all starts with two names: Kieran Crawford and Jamal McCoy. Kieran Crawford, the edge rusher out of Auburn, is a certified dog. There's really no more elegant way to put it. He plays with this relentless, never-quit ferocity that you simply cannot install in someone. You either have it burning in you or you don't. Crawford has it in abundance. Now picture him lining up alongside Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz, two of the most technically polished pass rushers in the entire league. Crawford is going to absorb something valuable from that room every single day. His growth over the next couple of seasons could turn into something genuinely spectacular. And the bonus? He's not just an edge rusher on passing downs. He holds his own against the run too. This is the full package. Then there's Jamal McCoy, and his story is almost too wild to believe. Coming into the draft, McCoy was a legitimate top 10 conversation. Top 10. Then the injury reports surfaced, doctors started raising flags, and teams started retreating. By draft day, he had fallen so far that people were muttering about just signing him as an undrafted free agent. General Manager John Spytek looked at all that noise, all that fear, and completely ignored it. He saw what others were too rattled to see: first-round talent with day-one starter potential. If this kid is healthy, and every indication says he is, the Raiders may have just swiped one of the biggest steals of this entire draft class. Bold move, confident front office. Yef Twed, the names flying under the radar, for now. Beyond the headliners, there's a whole supporting cast worth keeping an eye on tomorrow. Brandon Cleveland has been quietly catching the coaching staff's attention. Lock onto him during drills. He could become a name you're talking about all season. Dan Johnson, a defensive back plucked in the 5th round, is exactly the kind of low-key pickup that quietly earns a starting role by week 8. Hezekiah Massey brings a physical edge and real playmaking instinct to the secondary. Don't sleep on him. Trayvon Stokes is a genuine Swiss Army knife of a defender. He can play nickel, drop back into free safety, and line up in the box. Dynamic barely scratches the surface. Ken Sloan, the defensive end, has people who've studied his tape, buzzing about his potential to be a disruptive pass rusher at the next level. Gary Smith, on the interior of the defensive line, is another quiet gem. This man is a gap destroyer who had no business being available as a free agent. The Raiders grabbed him, and he could easily earn a real role on this team before the season's out. Xavier, who played edge in college but projects as an off-ball linebacker in the pros, is a fascinating developmental piece. The release of Jamon Davis sends a clear message. This coaching staff sees Xavier as a linebacker first and foremost. That roster decision alone tells you how clearly they think. On the quarterback depth side, Jacob Clark out of Missouri State adds a reliable safety net behind Mendoza. The Raiders had originally explored bringing in former Baylor QB Sawyer Robertson, but when that deal fell through, the front office pivoted without even flinching. That kind of composure at the top matters. Tomorrow is when the story officially begins. The cameras will be rolling. The action will be live, and we're going to watch Fernando Mendoza fire a football in a Raiders uniform for the very first time in an official team setting. Malik Benson will flash that ridiculous speed. Trey Zoo will demonstrate why versatility is the most underrated quality on an offensive line. Kieran Crawford will bring that edge rusher intensity, and Jamal McCoy will take one more step toward proving every single doubter completely and utterly wrong. The Las Vegas Raiders are building something real. You can feel it in the air, the pieces coming together, the front office making bold and calculated moves, the young talent arriving ready to prove themselves. This rookie minicamp is just the opening line of what could turn into a very, very special story. So who do you think is going to make the biggest impact for Las Vegas this season? Drop your pick below. Let's hear it. Thank you guys. See you next video.